Hi, this is Paul Roberts, Conscious Counseling 101. Here's an easy one. I almost feel like this request for a video is pulling my leg, but I'm going to go through it anyway. I told this person that I would answer anything that he might be interested in finding out more about or give an opinion on it. I have a number that has been reoccurring for years. It's 316. I believe in the afterlife. I've talked to relatives that passed on. People don't believe me. I started off waking up every night at 3:16 a.m. Then I noticed that number all the time. It's been with me for 10 years, same number, not sure what the meaning is. Okay, so that's all he gives me to go on. So this is an easy one. Now here's the thing. Nothing is for sure. So even when I try to answer this is just my opinion. You make it so obvious to me, if you're not pulling my leg, that I think this is obvious and I'm going to say it. I come from a biblical background. When I became an adult, I didn't want to just say, okay, that's what I'm going to be about because I grew up that way and was told. I was challenged by a lot of atheists that I talked to just not believe anything, to realize that the reason why I'm believing these things is because it's all a human control mechanism and I'm just doing it because I'm worried about my soul and want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can. And the human condition is such that they don't know what's out there. They know there's pleasure and pain here. They don't know what's lying beyond. They want to avoid that. One of the reasons why people go dim and aren't of heightened conscious, like this page is about, is because of that factor. People do whatever they can to convince themselves that everything's going to be okay and just avoid the major issues in life. Definitely don't have it about your life purpose or talk to people about it, because a lot of people don't want to talk about it. They're also very, very, very concerned and worried about those things, and they don't believe it, of course, because if they were to open up their world to that, then more of their life would have to be about that, and there is no answer for it, and so therefore living that way is a road less traveled, and there's much more concern about it. But let me just connect directly to your thing. There's a number that, because of my background, I've always seen on license plates or wherever. The mind's very powerful. There's many studies that are very legitimate studies about the power of the mind, the power of the unconscious mind. We don't have to go into a realm of fairy tales and hocus pocus to believe there's something there. There is something there in the conscious mind that's more powerful than we realize. Like for me, for instance, I believe you because whenever I see the number 666, it right away jumps out. No other number jumps out. I don't have a favorite number, but there's no other number jumping out. This probably is because of my very early beginnings, believing that had such significance that my subconscious mind thought about it. And so it jumps out. So I know it's possible to have things jump out. Now, I get up every day at 5 o'clock to take my kids to school and whatnot, so I'm always knowing right when it's that time, even if the alarm doesn't go off. So there's a programming of a certain way of being that you could get accustomed to. But why 316? I think you're tuned into it, and over a period of time, you became more tuned into it like an alarm clock, and your biological clock kept on going. For instance, when daylight savings time is in effect, is it still 316 or does it become another number close by or an hour different? But regardless, you don't have to do tests like that. The reason I thought you were pulling my leg is because you're talking about the afterlife. Of course, John 3:16. I don't even have to look it up. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. Now, in the day of the chosen people in the Old Testament, there were soothsayers. Even when Jesus walked the earth, there were people going behind him yelling, "You are the Son of God!" And he told them to be quiet because his time had not yet come. Everything was very black and white back then. There was a great significance in numbers and in verifiable lockdown things. When Jesus came, he said, "I did not come to bring peace. I came, and because of me, brother will be against brother and father against son and all these things." Why? Because we aren't going to live a litigious world anymore. We are going to have to believe in him and follow his teachings to understand how we relate to God and how God relates to us in order to inherit eternal life. Now, we don't know that there's eternal life. We don't know there's Jesus. We don't know there's God. We don't know anything. But the word's written down and man subscribes. Ideas never die. In History of Ideas in my school, the man that taught was Sherman Merrill. And he said, ideas never die. He said that at every class all the time. And it's true. My question is not for you to believe because it's a biblical thing. My question is, can you believe that we believe it because we think it, and so as a society we believe it, and then either subscribe to it or not? Not because God actually exists or not, but we believe he may. And so therefore, since ideas don't ever die, is what we're doing responding to the fact that we believe that or know that or think it might be? And how much of a chance are we willing to take? And do we realize that subconsciously we're suppressing a lot of these types of issues in our lives and in our society? Sure, there's fantasy about it. Sure, there's movies and books. But what sells? Sex, pleasure, things like that. Not outer worldly things. Not things that we need to really think about because they could just absolutely perplex us and bring us down to our knees as human beings. John 3:16 for you is strong. Your body's internal clock to recognize it and make it happen again even at night while sleeping is strong. It's not surprising. Studies like this have already been done. I would say that your connection with that has to do along those lines. I don't know if this is telling you anything or benefiting you in any way, but I said I'd help you in any way that I could with anything you asked. If you'd like to talk more, let me know what else you're thinking, and I'll talk further on it. I'm putting this out here as a generic video. Anybody else that would like to benefit from the thoughts of someone that suggests a video, do so please. Take it or leave it. I'm a very analytical person. I'm an artist by nature, and I'm very heightened, conscious, aware, and oriented. My goal is to help others to become that same way in any way that I can. This is Conscious Counseling 101, and anybody else? Ask me something. Tell me what you think. Maybe I'm wrong, but we won't know. And maybe I'm right, but we won't know. Such is being human in this physical realm. Till next time.